CBS presents this program in color.
Well, all right.
Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here with Christopher Durant.
Hello.
With Tommy Von Voigt.
Hello.
And where are we, people?
Hello.
World famous
We're on the world famous As It Should Be studios.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
And what year is it right now?
It's 1963.
Hey now.
Yes.
Yeah. And hey, while we're in 1963, I had this idea.
Hit me.
How about we discuss our favorite albums of
Hey man, that's way out
Oh
there.
my gosh, I brought a list with me. Just a total coinky dink.
You know
Wow.
what? I did that too.
You did?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, guess
Nobody
what?
called ahead.
Your listeners are going to have to wait because I get to start this.
Oh, I get the last word on 63. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, wait, let's rethink this. Oh, shit. Well, that's your fault.
Again. Once again. Everything is my fault.
It's
Damn it, Durant.
It's you know,
Ba-dum-bum.
That's our Crystal.
another fine mess you've gotten us
Listen
into.
to. Sorry.
Okay.
And then goes to the bumper music, and then we go to commercial.
All right, so honorable mentions. Fats Domino with Here He Comes Again.
Ooh.
Yeah, Fats Domino with Here He Comes Again. Barbra Streisand with the Barbra Streisand album, her first album.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, even though this is a mirror honorable mention, I actually want to discuss this record a little bit because there's a track on this, I'm sure you guys have heard it, where she does Happy Days Are Here Again. Mm-hmm. Her version of that song is fucking amazing. Like, it starts out kind of, small and kind of, light and just, kind of a little happy and airy, and then it just intensifies until she gets to the end, and she just sings this note at the end and hits like a note at the absolute top of her range and holds it precariously. You know what I'm talking about? She sounds like she is going to absolutely explode. And then she just tears out of the note. And it's just one of the most fucking punk rock things I've ever heard.
It is really punk rock.
It really is. It's like a literally Barbra Streisand's punk rock moment.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's badass. Anyway, so back to my honorable
She can
mentions.
fucking sing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
It's Babs.
Martha and the Vandellas with Heatwave.
Yes.
An album I really wanted to put on the list, but Martha and the Vandellas albums have so much filler.
They do.
Yeah.
And that's not Martha's fault, nor is it the fault of the Vandellas.
No.
Then we have Nancy Wilson with Yesterday's Love Songs, Today's Blues. Sorry, Nancy, you're merely in the honorable mentions this time. But, all right, so number 10, my official list. The Beach Boys with Surfin' USA.
Yes.
And this is their second album. And just like all their early albums, they're like these really great, just banger tracks that are sort of like sitting alongside these really god-awful, obvious filler tracks. I mean, this has... the title track, Surfing USA, has Farmer's Daughter, Lonely Sea, Shutdown, and then the rest of it is just...
Yeah.
That to me, that's very puzzling.
Yeah.
How that happened,
They
because
were wildly uneven.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
what? How did it go from this to like Pet Sounds?
Well, the thing about it is that they were putting out records like every 3 months. You got to figure how many albums they have just in 63 or just in 64.
Yeah.
If just that year they had put out just one album with all the best tracks on all their albums from that year, these records would be Beatles level.
Oh yes, they
Yeah.
would be. I mean, the songs on there are just untouchable.
Yeah.
But I mean, as an example of how many fucking records these guys were putting out at first, I have 2 Beach Boys albums on my top 10 list, and neither of them are the one you just named. So,
Yeah, like they were
Yeah.
they were barely done like recording the last song on an album, and they were already booking the session
Yeah.
for the next fucking album.
I keep
Yeah.
forgetting how the output
Yeah.
during that time period. Yeah.
yeah, if they could have just weeded out the crap, he's right. They would have been.
Yeah, no, it was just they were forced
They
to make
would've been
records at a
incredible,
way
yeah.
greater pace than they were equipped to
do.
keep
I mean, it's
up with.
honestly unfair for anyone to make records at that kind of pace. It's remarkable the records are even as good as they are.
Yeah. I mean, they probably only survived it because they were kids, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my number 9 is Hank Mobley with No Room for Squares. Yeah, and this is a star-studded album. I mean, this has Lee Morgan and Donald Byrd and Andrew Hill and Herbie Hancock. I mean, it's just like... Yeah.
No room for squares.
Yeah. So number 8, Meet the Searchers. Meet the Searchers.
Nice.
Yeah. With this has Sweets for My Sweet, and Love Potion number 9, and a lot of other great songs that sound like the Beatles. But man, but it's great stuff.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they definitely have that exact sound. But I mean, they're don't sleep on the Searchers. If you're into that kind of stuff, that kind of early '60s British beat group stuff, check out the Surfers, or the Searchers, the Surfers, the Surfers, the Searchers, the check out the Searchers. Okay, all right. So number 7. My number 7 is, oh man, I'm glad she has arrived. Leslie Gore.
Yes.
Leslie Gore sings of Mixed Up Hearts. Yeah, Leslie Gore. This is her second album. This was produced by Quincy Jones, who did all of her early stuff.
Yep.
You know, this has She's a Fool on it, and You Don't Own Me, and Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows. Now, the thing about these Leslie Gore records, and this really took me by surprise when I started listening to her, I don't know, 20 years ago or whenever it was I first started going to her records. You would think that Leslie Gore would be the kind of artist that would have a couple of really great singles and a bunch of filler. Her records are rock solid. It's not full of a bunch of covers. Maybe there'll be one song that you know, but for the most part, it's all songs that are just for that album.
Yep.
And they're pretty much mostly really good.
Yeah.
She has a really cool voice. I love the personality in her voice. I like the sound of the way yeah, I think her records are great. Anyway, number 6. Dionne Warwick. Anyone Who Had a Heart. Yeah, Dionne Warwick's second album. One of the worst album covers in history,
Yes.
but amazing album. And produced by Burt Bacharach and Hal David, who of course wrote pretty much all the songs. And I mean, talk about not being able to go wrong. This whole period of pretty much the entire 60s with Dionne Warwick. I mean, we're talking about Burt Bacharach albums with Dionne Warwick on vocals. There you go.
Fabulous.
What more do you want? Number 5. The Impressions with the Impressions.
Yes.
The Impressions with the Impressions. Yeah, the debut. I mean, they've been around for a while when they made that. I mean, that album came out '63, but they've been putting out singles since like '58. But that's their very first full-length album.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was number 5. Where are we? We're at number 4. We're at number 4. The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan.
Freewheeling down the street.
Yeah, Freewheelin' Down Jones Street. Yeah, Freewheelin' Bob Dylan is like, that's Dylan's first masterpiece. Like, that's his first great album. And, I mean, this album, come on, this album has Blown in the Wind, Girl from the North Country, Masters of War, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Don't Think Twice It's All Right, I Shall Be Free. I mean, that's practically an early greatest hits collection. But the album cover that we've all seen a gazillion times, that was shot on Jones Street in the Village, right around the corner from his apartment at the time at 161 West 4th. So for all you people, when you come, if you don't live in New York, when you come visit New York, go to West 4th, 161. That was his apartment. And Jones Street is right there. But number 3, the Beach Boys are back. Surfer Girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Now this, as far as all their albums from this period, this is the prize, this album, as far as I'm concerned. But it has amazing standout tracks. Surfer Girl, Catch a Wave, Little Deuce Coupe, In My Fucking Room, for fuck's sake.
Man.
Your Summer Dream. I mean, and then a bunch of crap songs. But my top, my number two. They're off and rolling. They're here. The Beatles.
Ding,
with
ding,
the Beatles.
ding.
The second Beatles album. Yeah. Ooh, boy. I mean, come on. The Beatles also, just like every other band, have a bunch of covers, but obviously they're really strong songwriters as well. And I'm going to cut myself off because I don't really sit here and need to explain the Beatles to you. You guys know about the Beatles and you know about that album. It's my number 2. My number 1... Please Please Me. I absolutely love this album. And it's 2023, so it's the 60th anniversary of this album.
How crazy is that?
Yeah. And I know you guys are both big fans of that album. That's their favorite Beatles album.
It's not my favorite Beatles
Not
album.
at all.
Oh,
Spoiler.
Okay. Well, oh.
Hey, go back and watch that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
I stand corrected.
Okay. All right. Let's go to a commercial now. Right now.
Introducing the world's newest, silliest, and hamburger-eatingest clown, Ronald McDonald. Now, where is that clown? Oh, Ronald! Ronald! Hey, Ronald!
Here I am, kid. Hey, isn't watching TV fun? Especially when you got delicious McDonald's hamburgers.
Ronald, you can't be on TV and watch it at the same time. Now, come on and meet the boys and girls.
Oh, we've already met. I know we're going to be friends, too, because I like to do everything boys and girls like to do. Especially when it comes to eating those delicious McDonald's hamburgers. A magic tray here keeps me well supplied. McDonald's hamburgers, French fries, and milkshakes. Watch for me on TV. We'll have lots of fun.
He's Ronald McDonald, the hamburger happy clown. A McDonald's drive-in restaurant is his favorite place in town.
Okay. Oh, okay. We're back.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
All right.
And it's Tommy's turn.
Yes.
Tommy time.
There's always a lot of tease when Tommy comes in. I don't know what it is. What is it with this?
TV with a list for you. All right. Now, I've got... Okay. So, in addition to honorable mentions, I created another new category.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
I did create another new category, and this is going to be one of those categories. A couple of weeks ago, I created a corniest album of the year. We have yet to see if any of us will visit that category again.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I don't know if this is going to come up again, this category, but I couldn't put this into anything else. And I call this category, Holy Shit, This Exists.
That's kind of what the fuck.
It's kind of like what the fuck, but it's not.
But with a holy shit.
What the fuck what the fuck almost implies, like, there's almost a negative context to what the fuck.
What the fuck is like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But holy shit, this exists?
Like,
It's
holy shit, this
how
is-
did this
I'm
even
like,
come
Oh,
to
so
be?
you're excited this is.
Yeah, I'm
this
like,
is this.
it's not so. This is not a great record at all. It's not, I mean, you could argue it's not really even particularly a good record. It's definitely not a terrible record, though, but it's more like, holy shit, this exists. That record would be Dio at Domino's by Ronnie Dio and the Prophets.
Say what?
okay, see,
1963. It is an album that is, I mean, it's kind of packaged as a live album, but it's not actually live. But it's them supposedly doing a live set at Domino's restaurant somewhere in upstate New York. 1963. And now, actually, there is one song here that absolutely fucking rules. Love Pains. It's one of their originals. Although the better version is the single version, which is a faster, more up-tempo version. This is kind of slowed down version on the album. But it's like, this is like early Ronnie James Dio. Like, we're
Yeah.
talking, this his first album was 1963, and he started putting singles out starting in like the late 50s, early 60s.
Wow.
But that's why I'm saying, holy shit, this exists. We're talking about 1963. We're talking about fucking Leslie Gore records, and I'm about to drop a fucking Ronnie James Dio album on you. Holy shit.
I
Wow.
did not know that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my honorable mentions for 1963, He's a Rebel by the Crystals.
Ah, yes.
The Four Seasons sing
As you
Ain't,
were.
The Four Seasons sing Ain't That a Shame, and 11 Others by the Four Seasons.
By who?
The Four Seasons.
Oh, the Four Seasons. Oh.
In Dreams by Roy Orbison.
Yes.
And With the Beatles by
The Beatles.
Manfred Mann.
Oh.
And
Manfred Mann.
You know who it is, Tom.
it's Herman's Hermits.
You know who it is. They were really popular in the
Steve Clark
60s.
The Searchers. Did you say Steve Clark Five?
Steve Clark Five.
The Steve Clark
Steve
Five.
Clark Five. He's his brother, Steve
Yeah,
Clark.
the Steve Clark Five comes in the
Steve
80s.
Clark 4. Yeah.
It was the Gene Clark Five. But
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, so those are my honorable mentions for 63. But my actual top 10 list, number 10, The Angels with My Boyfriend's Back.
Hey ya, hey ya.
Fucking shockingly solid record, actually.
is it? I actually haven't listened
Yeah,
to it.
I mean,
I've only
there's
ever
definitely
single.
some stuff on there. It's like, oh, come on. You know, which manager made you record that?
Right,
but
right.
there's also some really good shit on there. Number 9, you know I'm going to keep the fire of doo-wop alive as long as I can. The Earls with Remember Me, Baby. Number 8, Little Peggy March, I Will Follow Him.
I will
Oh my god. Wherever he may go.
Oh, yeah. It's a good record,
That's
though.
a great song.
Number 7, The Miracles with The Fabulous Miracles.
Ta-da.
I love that album cover.
It's very yellow.
It's very yellow.
Number 6, Big Girls Don't Cry and 12 Others, The Four Seasons. The Four Seasons,
so
like
good.
the first 5 or 6 records they put out, it's always like Sherry and 9 other songs we thought you might want to hear.
The song you
You
really
know,
came and a bunch of other
Walk
crappy
Like a
things.
Man
And
and
7
11 other things
songs
we threw
that-
together.
11 other hits that you'll
just
love.
like the worst album titles these guys can come up with.
It's like they're convincing people.
Yeah.
They're really going to enjoy
No,
this. Really.
That should be the name of the album. No, really.
Where was I? Tommy's List, number 5, and 9 other songs that albums I'm gonna read off. Number 5. Okay, so I've done this once before, and I got a pass for it. I don't know if I'm gonna get a pass again. But my number 5 is possibly a compilation album. It's hard for me to be sure. I suspect it might be, but this artist, like every single one of his albums came out within like the same 18 months span of time, it feels like, between 60 and 63. This is the album to get if you want all of his good shit, which is what makes me suspect that this is a compilation. But if you were the record buying public at the time, you might not have been able to discern what was what. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and sneak this in. I might get buzzed for this, but Del Shannon with Little Town Flirt.
You know
That's
what? I
the
don't
one
know.
to get. That is the one to get.
I don't
I don't
know.
know that.
It's got Hats Off to Larry. It's got all the Del Shannon songs you want.
Yeah.
Number 4, The Beatles. Please Please Me.
Oh, you have that
yeah.
above with the Beatles.
I do. Yes, I do. Now, my number 3, The Beach Boys, Surfer Girl. My number 2, The Beach Boys,
Surfer Girl.
Little Deuce Coupe. Now,
Oh,
how did I determine which one beat it?
How?
Let's look at the track listing.
well,
Shall we?
well, yeah. We'll discuss why it's not on my list after we see the track listing.
Track listing for Little Deuce Coupe. Little Deuce Coupe, Be True to Your School, Car Crazy Cutie, 409, Shut Down, Spirit of America. I mean, this is our car club. These are fucking great goddamn songs. So compare that to Surfer Girl. Surfer Girl, Catch a Wave. Now, Little Deuce Coupe obviously appears on this album too. I don't know why they did that. They also did that with 409 at one point.
Well, let me say this out. That's a
In
good
My
time to
Room,
say.
Hawaii. It is not a compilation album.
It's not a compilation
considered
album.
one.
It actually was presented. It came out merely weeks, like 3 weeks after the previous album, and like at least 4 or 5 of the songs on that album, and which is most of the bangers, are all songs from the previous records. It's not a compilation album. It was actually
It is
put out as a new
considered a
album.
studio album,
But
yes.
all the good songs on it are from previous albums, so that is why it's not on my list. But if it wasn't for that, that really is kind of the best collection.
That's why I have it at number 2. I had I had to look at the 2
yeah.
that were clearly the contenders for me.
Yeah.
Packaging bullshit, whatever went on behind the scenes behind that. I just had to look at them at face value and say, okay, I want them both on the list. For me, Little Deuce Coupe was the slightly better album than Surfer Girl.
Well, I mean, it is fair enough because, as we've both pointed out already, it's not a comp, so I mean, it is fair game.
It is fair game. I know it seems bullshit, but it is not actually bullshit.
Well, it's kind of bullshit, but not in terms of
Yeah.
its eligibility for
Yeah,
the list.
it is considered their 4th studio album.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I mean, it is a solid, pretty, well, not solid, it has some shit on it, but...
Well, they all.
I mean, it has
but
Little Deuce
they all
Coupe, it has
do.
409.
Honestly,
it has
they all
Catch a
do
Wave.
until we get to Beach Boys Today. Beach Boys Today, yo.
Ooh, yeah.
Beach Boys Today, that is one motherfucker of an album right there.
Thanks for
That to
making
me
it
is
good.
that's when the Beach Boys deliver the album that I was waiting for them to deliver the whole time. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But my number 1 for 1963, as if there could have been any other album at number 1 for 1963 for me. Various artists. A Christmas Gift for You from Phil Spector. I mean, come on.
Of course, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I avoided Christmas albums for this. I mean, I would have put Nat King Cole, I would have put, the Phil Spector album, but I ended up...
Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that, and you're not wrong. And for the most part, I didn't go after Christmas albums, but this album, this is a special album.
And I listen to it all year long, not just for
I
Christmas.
will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Elton John's Step Into Christmas, I listen
Yeah.
to that all year.
It's just great stuff.
So good.
So,
Yeah.
that to me, 1963.
All right.
That's a you.
All right. And this is a commercial. Something like that.
A commercial.
Easy bake, fast as you can. Mix 'em up, pour 'em in the pan. Slide 'em in, let 'em bake now. Slide 'em in, slide 'em out, Easy Bake, wow! Only Kenner's Easy Bake Oven Set makes such delicious cakes, cookies, candy, brownies, pizza, pies, and biscuits. It bakes like magic with 2 ordinary light bulbs and has a special cooling chamber. Easy Bake by Kenner.
Oh, this coffee is criminal.
Honey, you killed the petunias.
Then you admit it. Your coffee really is murder.
Papa Eddie, my coffee, it's murder. It's either too bitter or too weak.
Try Folgers. Never bitter, never weak, always nice and rich. Because Folgers coffee is mountain grown.
Mountain grown?
Like the sign says. Mountain grown for richer flavor. Mountains is where the best coffee comes from.
Well, all right.
You know it's a crime not to have delicious coffee like this all the time.
We will, now that I've discovered the mountain. Ooh.
Folgers Coffee, mountain grown for richer flavor.
All right.
We're not ready to talk
Ready
about
for
some
Christmas
songs
list?
again.
Okay. All right, it's 1963.
Yeah, it is.
And I have... yeah, it is.
You know it.
Oh, yeah. And I have runners up.
All right.
And no
That's
particular...
more like it.
See?
That's more like it.
Now it's not my fault.
Now it's not your fault. Yeah, it's your fault. How many runners up from Crystal again?
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, it's your fault.
All right, so here are my runners up in no particular order. Nightlights by Jerry Mulligan. Frederick Fellini's 8.5 by Nino Rota. The Beatles, number 1. The World of Miriam Makeba by Miriam Makeba. Coogie's Cocktails by Xavier Cugat and his orchestra. That's good. I love it. Cannonball's Bossa Nova by Cannonball Adderley. Cannonball Adderley put out a Bossa Nova record. Everybody made a Bossa Nova record.
Bossa Nova at that time was like disco in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Like nobody
couldn't escape it.
Nobody escaped.
Cannonball Adderley with the Bossa Rio Sextet of Brazil to make it authentic. Baby Work Out by Jackie Wilson. I Am the Greatest by Cassius Clay. Do you know about this record?
No.
Oh my! Have you heard it?
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't know about this.
It's so great. So on the cover of the record, he's wearing a tuxedo with tails, standing on, a violin or something like. And I don't know. I don't remember.
Aren't there busts around him and stuff? Or?
That's like Beethoven shit. Yeah. So I don't remember where he recorded it, but it's a live record. Part of it is live, and this guy comes out and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the poetry of Cassius Clay," and he comes out and he recites one of his poems, like, "I am the greatest," blah 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 blah. And everybody's like, "Ooh, it's so great!" Woo. And then he does all these other songs by himself and with kids and stuff, and it's like this uplifting.
He's
like,
singing?
Yeah, he's singing.
He could sing?
His voice was kind of okay. It wasn't that bad.
Huh.
It reminded me of something that it would have been like a Sesame Street record.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's not doing serious.
Right.
It's like fun, goofy stuff. But
he's not doing the Eddie Murphy thing.
Yeah, he's not doing Eddie Murphy. It's real. And then my last runner-up is My Son the Nut by Alan Sherman.
Oh.
I love it. I love Alan Sherman. He was great. Okay, here's my list. My list. Coming in at number 10, In Dreams by Roy Orbison. And the one thing that sticks out to me about Roy Orbison is something, I think that Tom Petty said it when they did the Traveling Wilburys. Either he said it or George Harrison said it. That when he was at the microphone, when they were in the studio, that it sounded like he was whispering into the mic.
Right.
And then they'd play it back, and that came out, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, he's not pushing out a lot of air. They just record him with a lot of compression.
Yeah.
And like...
And it's just like, boom. It's kind of weird. Number 9 is I Feel the Spirit by Prince Buster. Now he's one of the first reggae artists, earliest reggae artists, kind of ska-ish. And he recorded like 800 records this guy has. But I really love this one because there's something about reggae records and ska, pre-ska records in the 60s that Paul hates reggae music. And I understand why. We've talked about this on my podcast because it all sounds the same. You know, it's like chick, chick kind of deal.
The same drum roll to open the song.
Yeah, but the 60s, I don't know. They all have a 60s feel, like even early Bob Marley and Toots and the Maytals, and it just sounds 60s. It doesn't sound 70s, 80s reggae. It has like a sheen to it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's bright. I'll say that. It's very bright sounding. And like he's put out a million records, but this is probably my favorite of his. Number 8 is Jack the Ripper by Link Wray and his Ray Man, which also has Rumble on it, you know. And that's a great documentary, Rumble. If you've never seen it, have you guys seen it?
No.
It's the story of indigenous Americans in rock and roll and how they influenced rock and roll. So it starts with Rumble and it goes on from there. And Robbie, what's his face?
Wrist.
Robbie Robertson.
Robbie Wrist narrates it. Yeah, Robbie Robertson. It's really, really great. Because a lot of people didn't know that a lot of these people were Native American. Were you expecting a delivery?
No.
Oh, okay. It's Robbie Robertson.
There's a visitor at the World Famous
Hey, come on in, Robbie. So it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. I highly recommend it. You need to watch that. It's called Rumble. My number 7 is The Impressions by The Impressions. Hey, yes. Curtis Mayfield before his...
Yeah.
Oh, so good. My number 6 is Money Jungle by Duke Ellington, Charlie Mingus, and Max Roach. What the fuck? I mean, come on. What? Duke Ellington? Max Roach? Charlie Mingus? It's pure dynamite. It's such a great record. Have you heard it?
I don't know this one, actually.
Oh, man. It smokes.
Duke Ellington is here now.
Duke, come on in. You're listening to it and you can't believe what you're hearing. You can't believe that these 3 guys got together in a studio and did this.
Right.
Like, why would Duke Ellington do anything with these jazz bows, kinda, even though he was jazzy? But it's just, it's perfection. I love it. My number 5 is A Christmas Gift for You. Various artists from Phil Spector. It's a great record. Listen to it in July.
Okay. You know
Phil Spector is here now.
Come on in, Phil.
Let's stop him. All right.
Okay, well, we got Phil out of here.
Dodged
Jesus.
the bullet on that one.
See, the more famous we get here in the world famous SHB Studios, we get all these visitors who coming and trying to ooh, can I come see I couldn't get in at Abbey Road, so can I come in
as a show?
And we say no, you can't. No.
Wait
if you couldn't get in at Abbey Road, why the hell do you think you can get in here?
Hello?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
There are people taking pictures outside crossing the street. I don't know why they're doing that.
It's nuts when we walk outside.
But anyway, so you had a list going.
Yeah, so, that was number 5. My number 4 is The Lightning Fingers of Ray... I'm sorry.
Stevens?
No. Ray Stevens.
The racist fingers of Ray.
It's the lightning fingers of Ray Price from Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show.
Hot dog water. Yeah.
The hot dog fingers.
The hot dog fingers.
There we go. Oh, fuck. No, I'm sorry. It is the lightning fingers of Roy Clark.
Oh, yeah.
For swinging, dancing, and listening.
Wow.
But no other
All
things.
the above.
Nothing else. Just those 3 things.
Swinging, dancing, or listening.
And listening.
If you try to groove to it,
you're out.
Fuck out of here.
You're out. Now, just like Buck Owens, a lot of people may only know Roy Clark from Hee Haw. And that's fine, because Hee Haw was a great show. But Roy Clark was a world-class classical guitarist. Remember the Odd Couple episode?
Yeah.
Just look that up. your mind will be blown. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Is it real?
Or is it Memorex?
Yeah. Because you're looking at his fingers and they're literally moving so fast you can't even see them move. It's like literally a blur where he's playing. And then you look at this hand and you can kind of see it, but his picking, insane.
Take that, Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yes. My mom took me to see him once or twice. Incredible guitar player. Incredible banjo player. Anything with strings, that motherfucker was making it catch on fire. Roy Clark. Genius. Listen to that record. My number 3 is Watermelon Man by Mongo Santa Maria. So great. So great that Herbie Hancock covered Watermelon Man.
All right. That's right, he did.
Yes, he did. But this is, Mongo Santa Maria. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful record. My number 2 is Mr. Soul by Sam Cooke. Oh, man. Sam Cooke. Mm-hmm. Wow. That guy could sing the phone book.
I was just going to make the same joke.
I mean...
He beat me to it by a second.
Gee whiz.
He could, though.
He could sing the song, the Yellow Pages, whatever. His voice, just so... his tone, crazy. And Mr. Soul, it's so good. But my number 1 record from 1963 is Live at the Apollo by James Brown.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh shit. Another one of the best live albums ever put on wax. You listen to this thing, please put on really good headphones or have a great system with your eyes closed, and you are there at the Apollo watching him. Like, when you're listening to this record, sweat is flying off of it and hitting you in the face. It's so incredible. Like, this is James Brown at his zenith, like a first zenith.
His first zenith. Yeah.
Man, it's so great.
Generally, the way I approach these lists is I generally don't like to put live albums on the list, but there are certain ones over the course of this that are just going to cut through.
Yeah.
And that's legitimately one.
Yeah, there's gonna have to
I
be
didn't put it on my
exceptions.
list, but I can absolutely see why you would do that anyway. Why you would put it there.
Bananas. It's so great. Whew.
Alright.
Yeah, it will wear you out. Listen to that record. It will literally wear you out.
All right.
So that's my list.
Okay. All right.
Let's commerce.
6-3. Let's commerce with the commerce.
Let's we're commercing. He nursed it, commerced it. Something, I don't know. Whatever.
The next time you go looking for a special kind of toy, look for Cecil the Sea Serpent and Lovable Beanie Boy. Here's funny Cecil, a crazy kind of guy. You'll find you really love him, and here's the reason why. He's got a silly nose, and he's got no toes. And great big eyes that go round and round. Oh, and here's a surprise. He comes in this size, and this size. Now, if you pull the magic ring, Big Cease might say anything. I'm coming, Beanie! And here's Lovable Beanie Boy, another wonderful Mattel-made toy. He's got a little pug nose and a great big grin. And look at his cap. You can make it spin. With Beanie Boy, you'll find there's 2. And the bigger one will talk to you.
Where is Cecil?
There goes a good kid. Cecil and Beanie Boys are lovable and huggable. You can tell they're Mattel. They're swell.
Hello, Cat. Curious? It's the new Super Torque Ford. Interesting? There's a whole new world of luxury in this new Ford. Be our guest. Feel that deep pile wall-to-wall carpeting. It has extra nylon for longer life. Or is it lives? See Ford's optional swing-away steering wheel. Illuminated ashtray. And well-lit glove compartment. Nice touches? Here's another. Crank vent windows. No other car in Ford's field gives you so many nice touches. So much luxury. Right, Cat? Good night, Cat.
Rolling again.
We're rolling again. Okay.
Rolling again.
Okay, we're rolling again.
We are back, people.
We're back.
We're back.
Say it loud. We're back and we're proud.
Oh, womp womp.
All right, but we're going to be proud to hate this time. We're going to be discussing the songs, or the albums rather, that we like the least from 1963. I don't know if there are albums that we hate, maybe. But at very least, we have least favorites. I think. Well, let's see. I think I'm first, right? Yes, I am first.
I think you are.
Let's find out.
First.
Oh, I have two. I have 2 records.
Whoa.
2 records in total. I have This Is Ray Stevens, because fuck Ray Stevens.
Seriously, fuck Ray Stevens.
But I
the hot dog water of
kind
the
of thought
60s.
Ray Stevens, it seemed like he should be at the top, but in the end I had to put Slim Whitman. Irish songs the Slim Whitman way. Did you investigate Slim Whitman?
No, I didn't go near Slim Whitman.
Dude.
Well, that's all right. It's okay. It's you're better off.
I don't know. I probably needed to do something more important, like fucking sleep. I don't know.
All right, maybe.
Yeah. So Ray Stevens is Slim Whitman. That's all I got.
Or just not listen to Slim Whitman. That might have been the important thing I had to do.
That's probably the best.
Maybe. It is for the best.
It is for the best.
It would be best.
It would be best.
Oh, God.
It would be best. You know, I do think that would be best.
If you know where that's from, put it in the comments. let me tell a quick little story about that.
Please do.
So, when Paul and I first met each other, how long has it been now?
Oh, she's like 12
or 13 years ago. I had just quit teaching full time, and I had the summer off, and I was getting paid, and we started hanging out together like 15, 16, 18 hours a day. Just like
we would just hang out,
wandering the city, and we'd always wind up at the Palace, which is the Waverly Diner.
We'd always end the night at the Waverly.
At the Waverly. We'd get there 1, 2 o'clock or something after hanging out in Washington Square Park for hours, and have breakfast, dinner. So we would always talk about whatever. And Paul has this uncanny ability to catch me at the best moment when I have like water in my mouth or food in my mouth or soda or whatever, and make me howl with laughter. And so I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was something about, well, that could be better, I don't know, blah blah blah. And I'm took a bite of something, he's like, well, it would be best.
That would be best.
And I spit out whatever was in my mouth, and I was crying, literally crying for a good 15 minutes. We were howling at the booth, and all these people were like, what are these two laughing at? It's so weird.
I love that scene.
So fucking funny.
Well, the thing is that we would be hanging out at the Waverly, and it would be so late. You know how when you hang out with friends and it gets really late and you start getting punchy?
Yeah.
So we get punchy to where, all you have to do is look at each other in a certain way, and it's like the funniest thing that ever happened.
Laughing.
You know what I mean?
And that was on top of making fun of the whole ecosystem of people who were hanging out there.
Yes.
Because all the waiters knew us, and they're like, oh, yes. And they would, it was like a Greek diner where we would walk in and sit down, and they would just bring out our food.
Right.
We were there every night. Because the other time you got me was when that guy had on that weird toupee, and you're like, no, the reddish brown one.
Oh, the reddish brown one. That's for your Prince fans.
Oh my God, I was dying. So funny. All right, end of my story. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, yeah, we're over to me.
Sorry.
Hate on,
Sidebar,
dude. Hate on.
Well, I have a dishonorable mention.
Uh-oh.
I had actually listed dishonorable mentions, but I only ended up with one, and that is Jan and Dean with Jan and Dean Take Linda Surfing. God, these guys are trying.
They took Linda surfing?
Yeah, that's the name of the album. Jan and Dean Take Linda Surfing.
Oh,
that's
they're just. It's just.
Really?
Yeah, just.
That's
fucking
weird.
Sounds dire, frankly.
Yeah, it's like if you go to make like a cake, but like a couple of the ingredients are turned, you still make the cake anyway. That's this record.
With rotten eggs, you make a cake.
Yeah,
with
make a cake with
eggs.
rotten eggs. Like technically, it's still you've made a delicious cake, but it's actually now it sucks.
But you will survive.
Yeah, but that's not my worst of the year. My worst of the year. So, my worst of the year is an album called Hot Rod Hootenanny by Mr. Gasser and the Weirdos.
Oh, I don't know about this record.
Yeah, okay, so I came up with a little write-up for this one, too. I had written, it doesn't matter what the craze is, there will always be a terrible, blatant, practically unlistenable cash-in. In this case, hot rod music, which is a mutated subset of surf music. And this is basically just, it's a producer got a bunch of session musicians together, and they cut a record, and it's just a bunch of bullshit instrumentals and stuff like that. And, they have, like, nonsense hot rod themed music, and it's there's vocals too, and it's just crap. It's not surf music, it's hot rod music.
Music.
And it's like basically, they're like, oh, shut down, 409, all that stuff. We need a whole album of that, and we'll just get anonymous session musicians to record a bunch of hastily scribbled together fucking songs, and that's Hot Rod Hootenanny.
Wow.
And it's just shit. And it's almost hard to pick just one example of this because, like I'm saying, with every craze for every year, there's going to be these blatant cash grabs.
Right.
You can basically just close your eyes and be like, this one. Hi, Mr. Gasser and the Weirdos. You're my pick.
You
Mr.
win.
Come on down.
Okay.
So, there you go.
All right. It's my turn. This is 1963. And my worst song is, or worst album, sorry. This is a bad habit of singing.
Because we're so used to doing songs.
We've been having songs for so long.
A whole over a year. The worst album for me is Irish Songs, The Slim Whitman Way by Slim Whitman.
Right, well.
Yes. Terrible.
I mean, it's...
Did you listen to it, actually?
I didn't, but I know Slim Whitman. But Slim Whitman is just one of those artists, like Ray Stevens. I didn't have to listen to the Ray Stevens album either. It's just like,
Well, I did because of morbid curiosity.
Okay.
And I made it through 2 songs, and that was enough.
Let me guess. It stinks.
It stinks.
It doesn't suck or anything.
It stinks. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, Slim Whitman.
All
right, I think that's that.
Have we hated to completion?
We've
yes.
All right.
Yeah, we've
all right. Well, let's have a message here.
Tell me, everyone, who would you expect to make the best beans?
CAMPBELLS.
Right, the same folks who make the best soups.
The Campbells are coming with more great beans. Beans and Franks. Barbecue beans. Beans and ground beef. Pork and beans. Campbell's the tender-hearted, tenderly tender-hearted. Campbell's the tender-hearted, tender-hearted beans.
Aye, Campbell's pork and beans are the tender-hearted beans. That means the mouth-watering flavor of Campbell's bright tomato sauce is cooked all through every tempting bean. Serve them often, the delicious pork and beans with the hearts on the label.
Campbell makes them, and that makes them good.
CAMPBELLS. Campbell's the tender-hearted, tender-hearted beans.
All right. Okay, so that's that. We've loved, we've hated, and well, now it's time to get out of here. Yeah, it's kind of sorry to see 1963 go. I mean, things are starting to get pretty good, but things are about to get really, really good.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. All right. But before we get out of here, you may want to subscribe if you haven't, and if you do, click. It's your fault, Crystal.
Ringy dingy.
It's Crystal's fault that we didn't get the bell.
Damn it, Durant.
Okay. And but if you subscribe and you click the little bell and all that kind of stuff, that would be groovy. Oh, she did it. Oh, sure, the bell. It's Crystal's fault that we have the bell. But
just say goodbye already, Berkeley.
Right, bye.